Welcome to the first edition of the Double Take Offseason Report. Now, we all watched the finals and we're all happy for LeBron, right? You know, fourth title, one step closer to Mike, that's all good and well. But we're going to be without NBA basketball for the foreseeable future, which is just depressing. I mean, we don't even know when the next NBA game is going to be. But what we do know is that we have a very eventful offseason ahead of us, as organizations are scrambling to contend with super teams or build one of their own. And what better organization to start this all off with than the hometown team, the Boston Celtics. A huge weakness of this team is the inconsistent identity on offense. Brad Stevens likes to get everyone involved, and when the Celtics move the ball around to commit to an offense that looks more like the Heat rather than the Lakers, the team goes on tears where everything flows like water and everyone's shot is wet. But in crunch time especially, the Celtics start to play hero ball, where one of the stars, usually Kemba or Tatum, takes the shot clock down to 8 or 9 seconds and makes a move. This means if offensive production just isn't sustainable and shows a lack of trust in each other. Is it the players not listening to Brad? Is it Brad going against everything he knows and calling ISOs? Either way, the Celtics need to iron this out in the offseason or they will continue to be inconsistent on this end of the court. Another big weakness is the total lack of inside presence. Daniel Theis is quite obviously a backup center and is undersized. Robert Williams just isn't developed enough to make intelligent plays, and Cantor is far out of his prime. So in terms of trades or pickups, this is the top priority for Boston. Now if you're from New England or just a UConn fan, you know a guy named Andre Drummond. The downsides of this signing would be that he is on the pricey end and isn't known to be the best locker room guy, but he's been playing on the Pistons and Cavs, so who can expect him to have a good attitude? Also, his physicality and ability to put up 20 rebound games is exactly what the Celtics need. He doesn't demand post-play touches, and Kemba and Tatum would probably love to run pick and roll plays with him. He's still only 27 and could be the answer for the Celtics' rebounding and interior defense woes for multiple years. If you want to go cheaper, Paul Millsap is still a serviceable big man that shot 44% from 3 last year. The Celtics missed Al Horford, who had decent playmaking ability and can stretch the floor. Millsap is like the Walmart version of that, and you don't have to spend Al Horford money. He's more physically imposing than Theis and is much smarter than Robert Williams. He's more of a short-term solution, but the Celtics could have really used him against the Heat. Though he isn't the Derek Favors of Utah anymore, Favors can be another value player the Celtics can bring in for extra size. He averaged almost 4 more rebounds a game than Theis last year while playing the same amount of minutes, so this would certainly be an upgrade. Aaron Baines was a fan favorite during his time with the Celtics, so why not bring this guy back? I don't have to go over why this is a good fit because it's already been proven in the past, but the chances that Danny Ainge swallows his pride and signs Baines again is probably unlikely, sadly. Now if you're thinking, how the hell are the Celtics going to afford any of these guys? I'm glad I'm not the only one, but there's moves that can be made to free up some cap space, especially involving Gordon Hayward. Let's be clear, nobody wants to see this guy go. I mean, how could you say no to that mustache? But his contract is hefty, and there's contenders that need depth that would be willing to take it on. Let's look at the Warriors, for example. Golden State is in need of a forward that can act as a stretch four, that can shoot with efficiency and be a team player, always looking to make the right play, aka Gordon Hayward. The Celtics would trade him in a first rounder for the 2nd overall pick and draft James Wiseman, or simply trade Hayward to another team for a quality big man using Danny Ainge's wide collection of draft picks. And don't get me wrong, the Celtics, they can still compete in the East with this current roster, but they're just not going to beat a team like the Lakers, Clippers, even the Nets in a 7-game series. And if Boston has made one thing clear, it's championship or bust.